this thing on? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious assets with me, your minutes on this beautiful Saturday night. Hey, switch it up. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here. God bless you and your family. Let's jump on into the beginning stages of the show and see what's happening. We're going to get that music back up and running like we always do, as the mixer's on my right. Okay. Shout out to everybody here. Let's take a look at BTC. Showing signs of liquidity below, but will we grab it? Looks like we may. Looks like we very well may grab that liquidity below us for BTC. Only I'm out of time. Actually, I'm going to raise that BPM. Just wasn't cutting it for me. So here we go. 109,500. Looks like there's liquidity 650. You can see it clearly. We'll open it up here for BOOKMAP. So BOOKMAP suggests we're going lower. It says, hey, I'd like to go after anyone who longed with a little bit of a stop loss there, but not a lot of backup liquidity, right? It's not like there's a huge red down there anywhere, really. And there's still this liquidity above us. If you can really look at it, it looks like there's a streamline up to 118,000. So playing around with 110K today for Bitcoin. We're going to take a look at the charts. They look absolutely atrocious. They look strange. But we're going to break it down and show you what I see happening anyway. So earlier today, if you were on my stream, this looked like a descending triangle, right? Looked more like we were going to roll over. I said, I'm not sure. And then I said at the end, I said, you know what? It looks like we're going to roll over. I said, I see more downside. I wouldn't long unless we get back above like this resistance. And we went down. We did. We fell out of the descending triangle. We dropped to the downside. So that happened. But look, we got cradled by the 200 moving average. And then for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours now, we've been just kind of hanging out ever since about 12 in the afternoon, right? We've been just kind of hanging out here sideways. So we're going to look at our daily close. I'm bullish as long as we stay above the 200 moving average. If we can stay above this, we can get ourselves a pretty big move here back to the upside. I know it sounds absurd and it doesn't even look right, but it's now a bit of a falling wedge. And the falling wedge can break to the upside 68% of the time. Also looks like it may be setting up for a shoulder, head, shoulder here, right? Shoulder, head, shoulder. Something like that to break us further to the upside. Looks like it could be happening. I don't know if you see that before I did. And resistance at 111,233. And right there at about 111,660. And then, of course, the big kahuna, 113,300, right? So we're looking for some type of breakout here. Back to the upside, but it looks like it might take a slow bit of time. And by September, I don't know, 8th or 9th there, we're in the monkeys. So shout out to everybody here on the live. Appreciate you for being here. And one thing I want to say is, someone close to me got hacked recently. Yep, they did. They got into their Coinbase. They took $15,000 worth of cryptocurrency. They also were able to get $10,000 from the Coinbase account, right, from the bank account into the Coinbase account. And pretty crazy too as well, which kind of stinks. So the bank, I guess, FDI insured, right? I mean, they'll be able, if you could prove fraud and get the, whole account and criminal report and all that, they will, I guess, they will be able to handle the claim, which I wasn't sure, but that's what I was told, which is cool. So, but after a few months and everything, but maybe 10 grand comes back, but the crypto gone, right? And the crypto was held for literally 4 years, had added at different times, and it was a dream of his, and it just again, no hardware wallet. It was on Coinbase for a long time. I get it. People don't get fully educated, but Coinbase has been fine for a lot of people for a long time. But it just sad. I found out this morning. So how did they get hacked? What happened? They clicked on a link or an email or a text message saying your account has been, and it says someone in China is using your account. It says Coinbase email. Someone in China is using your account. Don't go for it. You know what I mean? Don't ever go for it. It's a scam. You know what I mean? It's someone's and then you hit the link. Next thing you know, they're telling him, I guess, to send his money to a SafePal wallet. And he's literally or he's posting his address. I don't know, something. And next thing you know, they somehow get into the Coinbase. I haven't heard the whole story, but I know it all starts with a link. And then next thing you know, you're calling someone, you're on the phone, they're telling them, hey, we got to help you. Your crypto is going to get scammed. And what they're doing is they're trying to get into your crypto account so they can get to your bank account. It's insane. They're going to drain both if they can. So be very careful. This happened to many, many people. This happened to my mother before she passed. All right? This happened to many people. So please be careful. Please do not hit links. Coinbase, if you get a link saying something happened to your Coinbase account, don't hit the link. Get away from that. Maybe even go to a different computer, go to your phone, sign into your own Coinbase account. Look at it. Look at the notifications. Double check. You know, if you're the only one in there, if you feel strange, go to the password and password reset it. You know what I'm saying? And then go to sleep that night. Sit tight. Recheck it the next morning. You should be fine. So I feel so bad. You know, it was a very close person in my life. I'm very, very upset. It ruined my day, to be honest. You know, $25K to someone who works so hard for $25,000. You know what I mean? So if you get a text with a phone number or a link, never click or call it. Never. Never. I get text message every day saying something about Coinbase in a 6-digit. Yeah, exactly. Stay away. Exactly. I get this thing, portfolio recovery. It says it when it calls you. It's insane. And someone says you need to put 2 fib on the bank account. 100%. I agree with that. But even if you have 2 fib on your bank account, once you're linked to Coinbase in your bank account and you hit a buy, that's going to go through. I don't have to go back to my bank account to relink that. So that's something that I think could, you know, yeah. Yep. Someone said I got scammed for 400. I think, yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to talk about it. I didn't want to spend a lot of time on it, but it happened this morning to someone I know, and I don't want to see it happen to more people. Please be careful. Please get your money off the exchanges. Get a hardware wallet. I was telling everyone the other day in the trading group, it was hardware wallet day. Get yourself transferred to a hardware wallet, please. All right. Market makers ready to take this liquidity cluster up to 111,005. It looks like we may get it. Let's take a look. So we're on the monthly, and we're just looking for this monthly candle to close green. That's all. That's it. Let's get out of September green. The rate hike comes. So much is coming our way. Imagine, I can't wait till October, and we're past this. Like, everyone is. I've never had so much. I mean, I guess it feels like this every time, but the anticipation on the rate cut, like, which will be, I believe there'll be a double cut. I believe they will go for this 11% gimme. They're not, because one cut's not enough. And if they do one cut and people come at them, so if they decide on it's either one, no cut or 2 cuts. I don't see, you know what I mean? I don't see it any other way. One, they stand so hard on their stance because they're just ridiculous and they have to, which could happen and would be devastating for the markets. Another is they have to just double down. If they believe it one way, then they believe it the secondary way. They got to double down. So, the way I'm looking at it, I think they're too far gone, and they think that's what they got to see the narrative too. They don't have to do what's actually right. They have to do what people think is right. Understand? It's more about what people think of them than what they actually think is right, because the narrative completes their. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? And they say no, that's not true, but it really is. So the whole idea is this: people are starting to mutter that they're behind. The Fed's behind. Should have cut, right? And it's becoming Democratic, Republican. It's going bipartisan. It's everywhere. And who cares? I'm not even, but I'm hearing it. And so if there's enough pressure out there that if they don't cut the rate, then something horrible happens to the economy. Everyone's going to say, see, we told them. We told them. We knew it. And everything, and it's going to be an easy scapegoat, right? So they always have to try to dodge the scapegoatism. They always have to create another, fog that they're doing something to change the movie. So I think a double cut would be huge. It would kind of be like, whoa, right? And then they'd come in with like, we felt like we need, as we said, we always look at things and we change it as they go. And this was what was needed at the time. We'll revisit in October, So success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day, while a failure is a few errors in judgment repeated every day. 100%. I woke up every day. I decided to stream. I did it. Some days I felt like crap and I wanted to sit in my bed and do nothing. I could have done those things. Had I done more of those days when I fell in my bed, this channel would be maybe 50, 60 grand, maybe 20,000. And it really wouldn't be going many places. But because I decided to wake up every day and do the same discipline and practice it every day, we're actually getting somewhere as a team here. And we're moving forward with a brand, right? And we got a community that's growing. So it just takes someone to believe in themselves and someone to push it every single day. And somehow, some way, it can happen. I'm here every day to use my voice to help other people feel good about themselves and realize that they are the answer, that they're miracles. Underground Crypto, you're a miracle. Kim Juve, you're a miracle. God is love, you're a miracle. You guys are all beautiful people with so much love to give. Like so much. Like God is love, you're one of the nicest people I ever met. Seriously. You too, Underground Crypto. Great people, man. Everyone out here. You lifers have a different love for life. Even Renee Montenegro, who knew it was going to go all the way to 50K. I'm having cigar on the balcony on the 10th floor over a mountain, my brother. We love you, Renee. You're the man, dude. I can't wait to meet you one day. We're going to laugh over our different perspectives during that time, man. But at the end of the day, you know what? We both hodl stack crypto, so that makes us crypto lifers, man. And that brings us together for life. Look at that, but don't interact with Hutch Coin on Sol. They direct you to a validated, ask you to private key. Ooh, get away from that. Oh, no. Sam, the Fed would rather be behind because they can correct course with printing. But if they're early, then inflation goes on a rampage, and they can't control that. I disagree, though, because they've been printed so much, they could just print it. It's now gone too far. Thanks, homie. Right back at you. You help me keep this way, man. Nah, man. I saw that. You have that in your heart, man. You've got a heart of gold. From what I saw. Loki Singularity. Shout out to Loki and Clinton Morris. God bless everybody here on the live. So we're looking at this rate hike coming. Saturday night's a good night for reflection, right? It's a night where the market's usually pretty slow. Sometimes we get some bumps. You never know. But it's usually a night for reflection throughout the week. See what we did. You know, collect our thoughts. Look for altcoins. You know, when it's altcoin season, the weekends can be hot. We had some good weekend pumps throughout the summer, and there was a couple times, even before the summer, in April and May, where we got some pumps for Bitcoin. Like on a Sunday. I remember going out, because we boat on Sundays usually, Saturdays and Sundays. I remember boating with my buddy, and we were just laughing about the huge pump that happened. Like, I was out in the water by 1. I sold the trade, was up thousands of dollars on a beautiful day on the water. There's been some amazing moments. Honestly, I really got to thank God for the ability to trade from home and the ability to kind of see the world. Unbelievable. All it took was for me to get off my butt one day and just do something different with my life and get out of that cubicle and believe I could do it, and look what happened, right? So be inspired by people that inspire you to keep going, right? Because it's just as hard to keep going for everybody else, but once you get into the habit of just getting it done, you get it done. You just become the person, and then people know you as such a dependable guy. And being dependable is the greatest feeling on earth. When people know you're going to be there for sure, when people know that no matter what, you're going to make it happen, when people know that you've got what it takes, you're going to have other people in your life like that. You're going to attract that type of people in your life. You're going to have dependable people in your life because you're a dependable person. And just that's the energy you'll attract. That's the high vibration you'll be on. That's how it works, everybody. So if anyone wants to be in that circle, they want to have that life. First, you have to curate yourself into that person that attracts that person, those other type of people in that lifestyle. There is an isolation period when you shed the skin of your previous self and become the new self, when you reprogram. Because the old self was attracting an old frequency into its life. Once you change your frequency, right, you're going to shed skin, so to speak, and you're going to molt into something different. And as strange as that sounds, it's true though. And there will be a time of isolation when you truly, truly progress in life, because you'll be leaving the old realm of life. You won't go to that old bar anymore. You won't have those friends that used to sit and drink with you. You'll give up on that life that you clung to so much, and you'll find a whole new place. You'll find lifers, people that are starting businesses, going to events, people that have quit alcohol for good and decided, you know what? I'm going after my dreams every day. I'm going to do everything it takes to make it happen. And I want to be around other people that are like that. I want to be around dream makers, right? So let's take a look. This bit of falling wedge here on the 22-hour time frame shows some signs of life. Let's look at our daily close. So the candle opened. Tough candle, too. Red candle number 1 after a whack-taculous daily candle. We opened at 110,660 even. High was a 111,307.70. The low was 109,977. And the candle closed at 110,187.97, down $472. Barely, went below 110 though. And now look, a green candle on the daily. And honestly, head right shoulder, like This could just be the wackiest right shoulder we've ever seen. And Bitcoin just on its way to the upside, doing damage. So we could be just at that last stretch, that last level. Whacked, very strange price action. You could say this is the flag. They broke it down. They broke it up. Kind of a diamond, though, too, right? Has some diamond vibes when you look at it now. Let me see if I put that diamond. Huh. Be weird. Can't place it too much, but normally there would be a diamond down here, like some type of diamond pattern, but this is wacky. On the 4 hour, you got to connect these. And then really, if you connect this, I mean, you really just have to say it's the falling wedge too again, right? Which should be breaking out. You know, the same scenario here. Kind of a low, a higher high, a higher low. As strange as it sounds. Could be the beginning of like, you know, a Livermore cylinder. Or one of these like, you know, bullish megaphones that breaks out from the bottom. Could be this in giant sloppy and a shoulder, you know, it's almost shoulder, head, shoulder, you know, something like this, building out a rounded bottom here. Ever since we did bottom down here and kind of rage on out. So, interesting. The 4 hours oversold and bending over with a higher low. This thing could pump. As strange and as ugly as it is, it's very weird. Another thing is we're above the 200 moving average. So, I still got that trade. Remember when I called the bottom here somewhere? I think it was here or somewhere here, right here somewhere. I call the bottom right here with a stop below the 200 moving average. That trade's still in the money. We'll see where it goes. You know what I mean? I mean, not in the money, but that trade's still open. If we get the huge bounce, I'll get the payday. We'll see. If we lose the 200, I'm out. You know. But as long as we can hold that 200, I'm gonna hold that trade. I took advice and left the office job behind to chase my own dreams. Thank you. Shout out to you, man. God bless you. Greatest thing you could ever do. Seriously, because you're gonna open up so much time and space for your life. And it's just time to grow. And wherever you were was just kind of, that was someone else's plan and you were helping their plan. That was great for while it lasted. And hope you learned something during that time. It's okay to work for other people as long as you gain skills while you're doing it, everybody. Everyone's afraid to work for someone. I want to be my own boss. Listen, I worked for other people for a long time before I became my own boss. I put in the work. I understood the ups and downs, right? I fought through all that. And eventually realized that like, I really didn't want to do that for a living. Like that couldn't be my life. I was going to have to change it. I was going to have to do something different. And if you want more money, you got to bring more value to the market, right? Feeling cute might send a super chat. Wow, shout out to the $69.99 from my man Master Friend. God bless Master Friend, my man in the trading group. If you need any help learning how to lev trade or even just hang out, we got Master Friend here. And he didn't even send that for that. He's my buddy. He just probably hooking me up. But just, you know, I'm hooking him up too. So just hit that QR code if you want to know more about leverage mastery. It's also at cryptolifer.com on the website. Check it out. But shout out to my man, Master Frank. God bless you, brother. Thank you so much for the $69. You didn't have to do that. That's very nice. I took your advice and I left my job. God bless you, man. I know it's going to go well for you over time. I mean, anyone that follows their dreams has a great life. So go after your dreams. May God bless you. Everyone who brought WFL during the unlock got rugged by Rub, and everyone who brought during the pre-sale 0.05 and the insiders at 0.05, right? Yeah, they got to sell at 25, 30, and 6 to 7x, yeah. I mean, you don't buy those things if you're not in on the beginning, and I said that to everybody. You never heard me mention that coin. Maybe once or twice someone asked me about it, but I think I bought it once in stream, right? For a little bit of money just to see, and that was it. We don't throw our money here away in this channel. I don't throw my money here. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say you should be taking as financial advice, but I don't throw my money away, you know? Really, when I take a look at this, I mean, it looks like the 15 minutes make it a bit of a bear flag here. They can just go further to the downside. Really doesn't look too good. I'll let the 1 hour do its thing. Maybe it could bounce. 1 minute's back above the 200 moving average, which we know, I mean, and, you know, could be a move, but look at that, just low liquidity on the weekend. Candles don't even look the same. It's so funny. So you can see very tight, but it could be that inverted. I got a long in case. I got a hedge long in case. We crack the 3-minute 200 moving average, we can pump again too. There's a chance. And look, the 5-minute could pump up to the 200 there at 110.5. So there's a chance here we could get some movement. There really is. We're looking for this to break out. It could go either way, to be honest. 50% pattern, right? When you're looking at an ascending triangle. Not always bearish, not always bullish. I'm looking for this to move back up on the rounded bottom. Somewhat of an inverted, you can see shoulder, head, right? Somewhat of an inverted head and shoulder, right? It looks pretty complex inverted. Almost like it has just like multiple, it's pretty intense. So, and it's a full moon tonight, right? I believe. It should be. It looked like a full moon last night. I believe it's the harvest moon. You're correct, right? September 7th would be a full moon. Saturday night. So Friday, September 5th. The moon and moon set. Oh, this is the last. I needed one that's a little quicker. Yeah, here we go. September 7th, the corn moon. Yeah, so it would be, I guess, tomorrow night will be the full moon. But it does say September 7th at 2 p.m. is the full moon. So technically tonight it will look bright. It will look full for both nights, technically, But yeah, it looks like a full moon tonight. But I guess technically it is tomorrow night. I don't know exactly how they look at that. But it is, yeah, the corn moon. The worm moon. No, the worm moon is March, where the worms finally come out, right? Anyway, so I honestly, even though it sounds insane and it looks crazy, I see Bitcoin making some type of run to the upside. It's weird. I shouldn't be saying, I usually don't go on like what I feel or think, and it's probably going to dump in our face, and I'll be wrong. But I got that trader instinct. It's going to do some type of wacky move to the 200 moving average. Now, it might get rejected and well, it looks like they'll give at least a surge. Some type of surge. I'm expecting some type of surge up to here because everyone's so bearish. There's a lot of fear. I'm expecting to just go low volume, smash the liquidity to the upside, and, kind of set us up for tomorrow. We kind of desperately need a bounce the way we are on the bigger time frame too as well. So it would kind of hold off the bears here and give us a bit of a move. So that's what we're looking at for Bitcoin. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but it's definitely something on the radar. And I'm kind of making a call that we're going to get a move to the upside. A lot of times I'm like, I know nothing, right? And I do know nothing. And I could say either way. And you never know. But I got that trader instinct in me. I got that dog in me. It's telling me we're getting that move up here. And, I could be wrong. Stop below the head of this big structure with the big push up. Somewhere back to liquidity here at 110.9, 111,000 looks very likely to me. And BOOKMAP's pretty light here with this one bar, 109.60. But it does say we can get to 109,650. So, that says you dump. And you dump right back down here to this kind of key area. Right into here, 109.6. So, again, nobody knows for sure exactly what Bitcoin's going to do. I'm just an analyst that goes over the chats. But there we have it. How's the chat doing? How are you people doing here on a beautiful Saturday night, huh? How's it going over here? Hey, pat yourselves on the back for showing up, huh? I vote a letdown. Pump, then dump like normal. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Shout out to Arthur Crypto in the house. God bless her. One of the OGs. Until I don't see you close above 113.8, we are going lower. Sorry. I agree with that, Renee. I like that. I like it. I like it. I'm with you on that. Noted. Taken as... Yeah, exactly. God bless you, brother. You're funny. Crypto Billy in the house. Shout out to George Wingard. You always got to have a wingard in there. A wingman. Yeah. You got him. We got Moto Savage in the house. We got Ironworker Derek. God bless you, Ironworker Derek. From my father to you, man. God bless you. Thank you so much to all the ironworkers out there. I got a big spot on my heart for the ironworkers. My dad was an ironworker. God bless you, brother. What a great day. My 3-month-old baby rolled over fully, both sides. Amazing. Oh, man. Baby's amazing. You got a baby at home. You're blessed, brother. So many people don't have a baby at home. We got a 1-year-old at home. She's amazing. She's amazing. She's coming out of her baby stage, though. She's walking around. She learned to walk this summer. It's crazy to see how they go from that crawling to walking, and then life just changes. So we're looking for this move for Bitcoin to the upside. It's a complex inverted head and shoulder. It has a 68% chance of breaking to the upside. It has a measured move. Something like this back to 110.6. Not amazing. Yeah. Done great. Bless you, Lifer. We're the CME gap at 117, right? Do you think that could fill up this week if we get the liquidity sweep? Let's take a look at it. I mean, people were saying a lot. We did kind of get into it. We just didn't fill it, right? That's the last kind of thing I looked at here on the 4-hour time frame. So there's a big gap up there. And, we tickled it right there. But yeah, is that enough? And we almost tickled it there. Yeah, a lot of people saying we're going to have to get thrown up there. This also, when you look at it, looks like we're making higher lows for a breakout out and that we bottom somewhere at about 107.9. I registered for your Discord 99. I'm waiting for a reply. So excited. Thank you so much. It shouldn't be long. God bless you, brother. I've been waiting for a couple months now. I appreciate your positive attitude towards every situation. You've been waiting for a couple months now. For what here? For what, though? I've been watching you for a couple months now. I appreciate your positive attitude towards every situation. God bless you, man. Shout out to Tim W. 11-month-old. Happy Father's Day for all the dads out there. God bless you, man. I mean, when you have a kid at home, it's a blessing. Because, if you have 10 kids, there's still only those 10 months, to 14 months times where they're a baby. I mean, then they're beautiful and they're kids too, but that baby, man, having an angel at home, man. Just a being that cannot, a being just pure of sin, pure of any, complete innocent, little baby, man, just learning life. And we were all that baby. You look at the baby, you realize you were once that baby. And, in some way, shape, or form, you're still that baby. Compared to some, a being that's 1,000 years old, they're looking at you like you don't know anything about this universe yet. You're just getting started. So, it's like we're all in a phase. We're all in a learning phase. The older you are, the younger you are, doesn't really matter. You're a being inside of a skeleton inside this earth, and you're learning. Right? You can learn from me. I can learn from you together. I don't care how old or young you are. There's definitely teaching, right? I mean, certain, I don't want to get, anyway. But, for the most part, you can learn from everybody, right? There's a nick of truth. There's something to be had in every situation. God, twin 1-year-olds would be blessings on blessings, grandkids. It's so amazing, right? Sitting with twin onesies, hanging out with big Godfather Billy over here. Well, this guy's 1 of 10 kids. That's crazy. So we're looking for Bitcoin to close the CME gap, to get a move to the upside, to kind of rip it. That's kind of what we're looking at. And then your babies have babies, and you enjoy it all over again. 100%. So crazy, man. That's just fascinating. I'm not ready for that yet, but fascinating. I can't even fathom that, my kids. But one day, right? If I'm so lucky and so blessed. If you get that far, man, if you make it that far, life is crazy, right? If you make it that far. Shout out to everyone. Follow me at CryptoLifer33 on X.com. Greatly appreciate it. We're always showing, talking about stuff, putting out videos. I'm doing so much out there. Just hit it up. Go to X.com. You'll find out more about me. You'll learn more. We're making a lot of awesome content there. You'll miss out by not following me there on X. You really will. People can get so caught up in major goals that they miss the subtle pleasures that make life richer. Amen. It's good to have that, go after your goals, but no, I like to schedule time for kids, schedule time for relaxation. Jim Rohn taught me that if you work hard, you get to schedule your relaxation time. You know what I'm saying? And you also want to schedule your time for your children and make sure you have time for everyone in your life and your wife. Like, you got to make time. It can't all be, and you can look at your schedule. And if every schedule you have is meeting, work late, and every time your wife and kids hit you up, you say, I just got to work a little later. We're working on this project. We're about to close this deal. We're so close. If you find yourself saying that over and over again, I mean, one day you just have to realize you're picking work over your family. And at one point, they're going to look back and you're not going to have been there for most of their life. And that's not going to be fun. The main reason I started my channel, the main reason I started trading, so I could be with my kids. I get to play Legos on a Tuesday afternoon in the middle of the day if I want with my 4-year-old, because I don't have to be where someone wants me to be. I could be wherever I decide to be. I have my own schedule, 7 days a week. And I'm disciplined about it. If you're disciplined about your own life, then no one will have to discipline you and put you in position. Like, you won't have to have a job that someone tells you to be at. You'll make your own job to be at because you'll be so disciplined. Discipline is the answer out of everything, man. It's not easy. It's a very hard life every single day. It's tough. But it's also tough working for someone else every single day. Like, which one do you want to do? They're both hard. They're both hard. Which one do you want to choose? It's completely up to you. And don't ever say that you're stuck in a position because someone put you there. You can change anything that's going on in your life. You're not a tree. You can make it, you can do something different, right? You're not in a position you can't change. It might take some time. It might not be overnight. But once you decide it's on, it's on. Once your mind decides you're ready to change, you'll be ready to change. If you keep saying it's okay, so isn't that crazy? When you decide it's time, it's time. That's how powerful the mind is. There's people that have led some of the biggest movements in history. And before they led those movements, they had low self-esteem. They didn't believe in themselves. And you know what? There was no movement. Nobody thought anything. But the second they believed in themselves, the second they said, you know what? I'm going to make a stand. They told someone else. They went to a meeting. They created a frenzy. They got it going. Next thing you know, they were William Wallace, Braveheart, creating one of the biggest movements in the world. You know what I mean? One of the biggest uprisings in the world. Like this, it all starts with the passion and that energy. It's getting snuffed out these days because they don't want to see that, which is crazy, right? Yeah, man, you're not a tree, man. A tree has to be where it's planted, and it lives there for the rest of its life. You're not a tree. Like, you don't have to be where you're planted for the rest of your life. You actually get to change and go somewhere. It's amazing. You don't have to be in the hometown you started in. You don't have to have the job you have right now. You don't have to say your boss sucks and go to the same place. That's on you. You're saying your life, that's on you. And the reason I'm saying this is I used to say it all the time. And I used to blame my position on everybody else until I decided it was me. Once I decided it was me, I could really change it. And I slowly did. Like, it's not, everyone thinks, oh my gosh, you're on YouTube and this is all an accident. And you just got lucky and you're one of the lucky guys that blew up on YouTube, you know? Has a little bit of a following. And people know you around the world. It's like, no, like, I made it happen. This was a dream of mine and I envisioned it and I worked until it was real. That's it. That's it. There's nothing, if basically tell yourself every single person that ever made it had a vision and worked at it every day. And they didn't even start cracking the surface till the 1000th day, till day 1000. That's when things started to change. After 1,000 days of doing it straight. That's 3 years straight, right? 1,180 days is 3 years, right? I think it's 1,195, 365, right? But the whole point is this, right? Bang. You know, you can change your life. You can change your life. No, it's a 1080. Yeah, 1080. It would be 1095. 1095. Bang. Sam, you were super early today for us West Coasters. I get caught off guard and missed your morning stream by 5 minutes. That's okay. You can watch it again. That means you were right on it. You didn't really miss it because if you watch it in 5 minutes, but I get it. You didn't get to see it live. That's okay. You got to master your mind and control your mind. If not, you're screwed and you won't do anything you want. And that's hard to achieve. I never stayed at a job I didn't love. We are in control. Make your choices well. You seem to have good control, man. Yeah. You have worked hard, bro, and I've seen it since day one. Everyone who works hard will make it one day. Some sooner, some later. Exactly. Some get a quicker break. You know? Brandon B., what kind of trees you growing? You guys are funny. Tell us the story again and when you were on a plane sharing a piece of gum, bro. I mean, it was a good story. I remember there was a guy there and he kept saying that he had problems eating fast food. I remember this. Anyway, like I looked at him, we looked at, you know, the plane started to go up and he looked at me and he pulled out a piece of gum and he handed it to me. It was just super nice. No one ever done that. It's a good story, right? I mean, the guy gave me a piece of gum. We ended up talking throughout the flight and you know, I think it was from Florida to Las Vegas. Amazing times. Hey, Sam, I'm not added yet to the trading group. I emailed my proof of payment. Thank you so much. I think I did see that. We will get the staff on that. When plaque's on its way. It's funny, I forgot about the plaque. I mean, I didn't forget about it, but it slipped my mind for a second. I'm supposed to start getting text messages of when it gets sent. That will happen in 5 business days from when I sent out the, yeah. So yeah, anyway, not necessary. You can be a hard worker, and if you don't make the right decisions, you won't achieve your dreams. That's true too. You can work really hard and then gamble your money away, right? So you could be super hard worker and then gamble your money away 100% and make bad decisions with your money. Or you get, you could make foolish decisions with security. Certain things can happen. There's a lot of things that have to go into play. But discipline is the number one answer to almost every single one of them. And then living in love. And every time you're in a really crazy state, you have to remember to be in the present moment. You build in the present. You can't do anything in a moment of frenzy, and you build in the present moment. Wow, we're stuck at 110, 250. We'll be here for the entire stream. We've been sideways since I've been here, right? We haven't moved in 45 minutes. Price action's been flat, right? Crazy to think you only need a 10x to 100 to a million. Yeah, that's it now, right? That's it. It's crazy when you start from scratch, too. You're like, I started at 0. I went from 100 to 200. I built my channel from, we never bought one sub. We never ran any of those. We never ran campaigns. We never had to think, maybe one day we will if we have the budget or Google will Play. But right now, it's been the most organically grown channel I've ever seen in my life, man. And we get to own it. And it's beautiful. A lot of people have grown, but they've grown in some other ways. And there's been some tomfoolery in that growth, right? Not us, man. We've been solid the whole time. Solid the whole time. Spot on. People who tried to bot us, it's happened, and they've been erased, and we've gotten it the right way every single time. All right. Let's take a look at Ethereum and see what's up with ETH. Honestly, I keep saying, this is how every single altcoin looks right now. We're at this precipice of like, you better pump now. Like tomorrow, like Bitcoin's gonna rip up. Bitcoin could go to 120K tomorrow. I don't know why, but when Bitcoin rips, it's going to do something silly out of nowhere. I think it rips before the rate cut, gets settled, has the pullback, right? I mean, this would be cool, right? I mean, this is like, fine. I'll build a fantasy story in my mind, but wouldn't it be cool? It rips before the rate hike, goes on a massive, like, just obliteration short squeeze, right? Then it has to come back down. It comes back down. It settles, and it settles into the rate hike. Unbelievable. Bitcoin getting a move here. Getting the pump there, 110,300. A little bit of a pump. So we're looking for this to get above the 200 moving average. We're looking for the 1 hour to get above the 200 moving average. We're looking for some type of bullish divvy, which we're kind of getting here. And once it gets above 4,484, right there, look at that resistance that it had. So it had a boom up. It fell below it. It got it. Used it as support. Chunky. Resistance. 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 Hold back. Breakout. Boom. Right? So it breaks above 4,484. I mean, that's its ticket all the way to 6,000. At least 5,000 and beyond. So I'm looking for this higher low to dig in here. Low, high, low, higher high, higher low. Dig in for the ripski to the upski. And that's kind of what we're looking for here for Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin gets the rip. Ethereum gets the follow through. We got to get above 4,484. Sorry, 4,000. Yeah, 4,484. Locked in. Bang. Right? I was thinking the same thing, that it would pump before the rate cut. He only looks at things for cash, master friend. Maybe I'll super chat it for you. Can you bust out WFI? Yeah. No super chat, no go, brother. Sorry, man. Yeah, your earlier $70, that was cool, but just it's not gonna cut it now. We're just gonna have to say no. Let's take a look at World Liberty Fiance. All right, so let's take a look at what happened here. I believe this thing's going to bottom at one point, and then it's going to go on a bit of a tear. Remember, I threw 1,000 in somewhere here at about 21, 22 cents, and so I'm back in a break even. Look, you could have bottomed it out at 16 cents. So, not a lot to go on the chart. Let's kind of zoom on into the smaller time frames. There we go. We got above the 200 moving average. We made a flag on the 21. See my strategies? You can play them out on a new coin, old coin, a coin that's been decimated. On Tesla, on the Dow Jones, you could something that's been around for 30 years, something that's been around for 2 seconds. Look, it happens every time. Buy those flags with the 21 touching above the 200. I back tested this for years, over and over again. And then look, previous resistance became support right there. SR flip to the upside. Wow, it's pumping as we speak. And now it's breaking out of this secondary flag. Again, touching the 21-day moving average. You see? The 21 is the key to the catalyst for movement. I don't know why. I learned it. Now I know it. Now I'm there. Once you get it with me, you'll be able to print like we do. It'll be amazing. The 21-day moving average. It'll be your key to entry on the way. And when you're near it, you're getting a pretty decent price usually. Higher if you're on if the bigger time frames are extended. You know, you're getting closer to. But on the smaller time frame, that's good discount. When the 21 and the 200 get really far apart, like eventually you'll get one more big pump, right? Boom, right? And then the 21 will be here, the 200 will be there. Then they got to start to come together again. Then you pull your fib, it's the 618, 786. It's the same story over and over and over again. This does look like, it just started to break out right now as we speak. And it looks like it's headed up to about 20, 25, 24. And it may have bottomed. Like everyone who got in early may have sold it off. And now everyone's kind of either bought back in. People that sold off say, hey, I think it's going to rip again. And then people are speculating on it. I'm almost in the money now soon, and I speculate on it. Maybe I'll build a little bit of a position. Well, I don't know. I don't want to get too crazy. But thank you. It looks interesting. And it looks like it's on its way to some bigger gains tonight. Bitcoin getting a little bit of a pump here. Some type of movement. A $50 pump. I mean, oh my God, it feels like $5,000 because the way it hasn't been moving. Man, buttermilk biscuits. I can't wait to go there tomorrow. How did you know about buttermilk? I'm going to Buttermilk tomorrow, man, if I have a chance. I don't think I have time, but I would like to go to Buttermilk and just get a biscuit. I was dreaming about it yesterday. It's a place near my house near Buttermilk. So good. Or used to be near my house back in the day. I was thinking the same thing. It would pump before. Yeah, you never know. Coin it. Let's take a look at what's happening here, too, with the altcoins. See if there's anything kind of hot today. Omni. We did put that out. Bouncing off the 200 moving average on the daily. Up a little bit. On the hour, on the day though, Somi getting some movement. NMR, but really kind of a mixed bag and not too crazy. For the most part, it was pretty down. But we still had some movement here in the altcoins. Metaplex, which is, I hold that for a long time now. Insane, some of these coins. Thank you, Lifer. I joined the 99 on Thursday, and by following your calls on Friday, I made all my money back and then some. Dang, man. So listen to this. I mean, that makes me feel so good, man. I worked my butt off. So thank you, Lifer. I joined the 99 on Thursday. By following your calls on Friday, I made all my money back and then some. That's insane. I hope that continues. May God bless you, brother. Thank you so much for sharing that with the group and telling people. It would sound like I paid him to say that, right? But I didn't. I really didn't. Really glad you showed Master Friend some charity by looking at WLFI without the super chat requirement. I know, right? I'll be nice every once in a while, but I can't be too nice to him. You know what I mean? You got to be hard on the ones you love the most. You know what I mean? It's just how it is. It hurts me more than it hurts him, but it just how it has to be. We got to grind it out together. Hey Sam, you don't ETH, and are you more bullish on ETH or Sol? I own ETH, I do, and I've held ETH for a long time. I started getting into ETH when it was $89. I still hold ETH from when I first bought it a long, long time ago. Yeah, for sure. Who is Sammy Toga with the utility for the trading group? I don't know what that is. We're not doing that. Yeah. Always had the facts with a little, yeah, exactly. TRX dump and WLF pump. Well, I mean, what's going on with TRX? They're freezing his wallet? Like, what's up with this now? It's like if you don't play ball, we just kind of can you. And then it also kind of like they shorted it. Like, it's kind of weird. It was on this massive tear for a while. Looked like it was going to go up and up and up. And then it just, some news came out. But look, it's on this crazy trajectory that look, it's been in a bull run since May, right? It's been in a bull run since May. Everything else has it. This thing's been on an upward trajectory. And also, honestly, like this could be just a bounce by here as it straightens itself out off of trend. TRX, man, I'd have your eyes open wide here. Getting oversold, making higher lows, has basically a Jon Snow wall of ice there. Like the ice wall, my friends, the ice wall. You're surrounded by an ice wall in case you didn't know. All right, now you do. Yikes, I should never have said that. So that's what my wife said No one gives Davey A hard time, so she needs to. Hey. I hope it's, you know what I mean? In the bed. I didn't say it. Someone's got to punish little Davey. Come to detention, Davey. Hey, that's bad. When people can use your knowledge and pay it back. Hey, man, it makes you feel good. May God bless everybody out there that still has a good life. You know what I mean? And doesn't let all the ups and downs of all this craziness in the world get to them, man. Because so many people now are just letting too much get to them, and they're not staying positive and believing that anything could happen. You know, and we gotta make sure that spreads throughout the world, man. If it can happen to me, it can happen to you. If I can live my dreams, then people can, man. There's dreams out here to live. People are living their dreams. It's not a dark, dreary place that they want you to read about in the news. You read the news, it's like a baby's getting thrown out this and that, and then, oh my gosh, it's insane. I can't even read mainstream. It's a trap. It's all there. Who knows? They could make half the stuff up just to pull you down in low frequency. Who knows what's going on these days, man? The whole point of Wi-Fi was because the Trump were D-Bank. Now this was just weird. Definitely something weird going on there with Tron. And the whole crypto community should be up in arms about it. Hey, Liver, send super chat for Akash, but I'm about to head to bed. Let me take a look at Akash Network for you, man. Thank you for asking it. I'm happy I was able to see that. I'll go through right now and I'll double check all of them too now. Let's take a look at Akash Network. It was first ever really on KuCoin. AKT. It should be on MEXC2. I think I had it on there. It's on Weeks. We'll take a look at it on here on Weeks. Yeah, so they have it from September, which is all right. So Akash Network. And we played this a few times. I remember that one time we called the top there. Remember that time we called the top of the 3-day, and ever since I used it, or maybe that was Acro. Acro, right? Yeah. AK. I know it's something with an AK. So this has that same cup and handle formation, but not as nice. See, if you look at a lot of coins, right? They're either up like this with the cup and that handle like ETH is in, and they're in more of an uptrend, or they're kind of in a downtrend with kind of the cup and handle, but the cup and handle is weak, right? So this one is playing out a lot weaker than the other ones. Doesn't look strong. And it was kind of a lot of these coins had use cases for the time, like for DeFi or for a certain, and now like they've kind of run their course. Now, once DeFi starts to rip again, but then there's going to be competition because there's going to be new, faster chains that weren't there a year or two ago when the same thing happened. So you're going to get these revisited chains, but then there's going to be their inability to gain more liquidity like they had last time because their tech's not going to be the same as it was comparatively. You're going to see this a lot. And some chains are going to die in DeFi. They're going to be just enough to kind of grab TVL, but never really expand much bigger than they should. This, to me, could happen to Akash. You know what I mean? Maybe they innovate and they keep moving. They get into, roll-ups and all that. But I don't know. It looks pretty low to me. Now, if you believe in it and you love this project and you think they're going to start ripping again, it's the discount and you're not chasing the premium, but I'm all set. It's a bit of a double bottom, and you're very low on that daily. But compared to a lot of coins, like Solana and other things that are in uptrends, this is in a downtrend, right? I mean, it's barely starting its first uptrend. That's its first high or low in a long time. It could be the greatest buy ever. Like that literally could be the lowest buy you ever get into, and this thing could absolutely rip. I mean, the bottoms are in, but you never know. I just, it's a little too risky for me personally. And again, and I'm not a financial advisor. You have to figure that out for yourself. Thanks for all you do. Can you look at PAX-G or gold? Yeah, we look at gold every day. I looked at gold yesterday. It kind of tells me that you don't watch the macro technical analysis video. Check that out every Friday, man, please. It's one of my videos that's recorded, a pre-recorded video. Check it out every Friday, the macro technical analysis video. It'll blow your mind. It'll give you exactly what you need. Let me show you right now just by going to my channel so you can see. But just go to my channel, go to videos, and you'll see right there, big, macro technical analysis, weekly technical analysis for it. Check out this every day if you can. Every Friday. This is really going to break it down. Look at that suit too, by the way. And a different suit every Friday. I mean, come on. So shout out to everybody here. Appreciate your time yet again. This is a bot that I got cooking. This bot trades for you. All right. I'll put a link right here. I do promote it. I get a commission for it. I like it. It works for me, so I tell people about it. Hey, there you go. So bang, bang. It's called the MINOTAUR trading system, and it's awesome. It's based on Bitcoin Power Law and some other awesome tweaks, and they do all that for you, and then you kind of throw it on there, and it rips. And I've been running the bot here now for Bitcoin. Once it hits 114, it's going to have a major payday. It's been in a long trade. Bang, bang, bang. It buys and buys. What it does is it opens up a long, and if it takes a quick scalp, it takes it. But if we start to dump, it loves to make the bigger trade, bigger. And it adds to the position. Look, 8,000, 12,000, 18,000, 27,000. And it's got enough in the kitty to continue to add to the position. You see what I'm saying? It's pretty interesting. So, different suit every Friday. Hey. ENA just hit my level. Longer term hold through a 0.8. Little to no leverage. Hey, there you go, man. I've been holding ENA as well. So shout out to you, my friend, baby genius. Let's hodl together, my friend. Let's make it to the top. There's gold. I see gold continuing to $3,800 an ounce. That's its next target to slow down. And it's in the all-time highs, right? Gold in an all-time high. Shout out to anyone who's holding gold like me. I got into gold a long time ago, and I probably should have sold it all when Bitcoin was 15,000. But it is what it is. I still hold the gold because you just never know. What if there's an EMP? Or I don't know. What if something happens somewhere, somehow, and gold works? You know what I mean? So I just keep a little bit, and it's also fun. It's almost like historic. Like, I just have historically, I own some gold because that's what the richer people do. Richer than me, they own some gold. So, hey, I guess I should do, I mean, I don't want to do everything they do, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just, there it is. I see Solana about to rip. I'm calling a move for Solana right here, right off this bottom rip. Like, that's it. That's your higher low. Could be a shoulder, head, right shoulder, lose this and dump. Yes, it could easily and stop you out. Anything could happen. It's been taking a long time of consolidation. But I'm looking for Solana to start the rip, and that would be basically like the discount right there for Sol, somewhere about like 202. Right. Yeah. What if they get an asteroid full of gold and its price goes to zero? Hey, then it's fun to have. It will always be fun to have. It has a use case. It conducts electricity. Although silver is a better conductor of electricity, I read, which I always thought it was gold, but I've heard it's silver. Silver is a better conductor of electricity. Everyone thinks it's gold, but it's not. Silver conducts electricity better than gold. And you can, anyone believe that? Does anyone believe me when I say that? What metal conducts electricity better, silver or gold? Anybody out there? Someone I think will say copper, I think, out of nowhere, but we're just talking about silver or gold. What if they get an asteroid full of gold? Exactly. But I just want to ask you, for like 20 years, I thought gold was the best conductor of electricity. I found out it was silver just like the other day. So look, they think it's gold. Some people still think it's gold. Is gold or silver the best conductor of electricity? Everyone says it's gold, see? All right. There you go. Silver for sure. It's guaranteed silver. Like, I know, I learned it, but man-made diamonds finally hitting that old diamond crime cartel. Real diamond price plummeting as the man-mades are just as good or better. Good riddance to the diamond cartels. I know, it's getting crazy. Platinum may be better. I think you're right there, too. I'm a silver slayer. Amen. An alloy of gold or silver is called electrum. That's cool, man. Silver also in the medical field. You can put silver in your mouth. Silver kills bacteria. Isn't that crazy? They use colloidal silver, right? That's another thing you find out when you start doing your deep dives. Like, you learn so much when you get out of the mainstream. You find out that, and then you find out all the people that know their stuff, they know what you know. And they find it out through different ways, through books in the library, but you find a video, it's crazy. And I won't get too deep into it, but man, all right? Silver has the highest electrical conductivity of all metals. Jay Doolin, God bless you, Jay. Spot on. Copper mugs, baby. Yeah, get that copper mug, man. That's why they wore copper in Egypt, man. They were lightheaded. They knew stuff, man. They knew about energy, electrons. They knew about it. Halley's Comet is loaded with Solana. Will that affect the price? Yeah, no. When the comet comes and Solana hits us, it goes all over the planet. What happens when we get hit with a meteor with tons of Solana on it? What do we do then? I mean, it's going to be crazy. Shout out to everybody on this wonderful Saturday night. I like this laid-back night. There's something cool about tonight, right? We've had crazy Saturday night shows where the energy is wild. Look, didn't I say there was going to be a pump? Didn't I just tell you that I felt the pump coming, baby? I just said there was a pump coming, baby. Boom to the upside for Bitcoin. 110,400. It's at there all day. But when I came and someone said, Sammy's on, I got to close my shorts. It's like, yo, it pumps every time I show up. Even just a little bit, man. They're like, yo, pump it for Sammy. The guy works so hard. Let him get the pump, please. Brass also kills bacteria. That's why they use it for doorknobs. The more you know. Unbelievable. Smart man. Silver, copper, and gold in that order, baby. Look at that. That's a squeeze and a half, my friends. To the upside for Bitcoin. Getting a rippage. Woo. Woo-wee woo. That's going up to like 470. That is, wow. Wowzers, geomizers. That thing's flowing. Like the salmon of Capistrano. And again, look, the bounce off the 200 moving average on the 1 hour. Like, my strategies are crazy. Sometimes they don't make sense. Sometimes they don't look like they're going to happen. But if I just stick to them now. See, my strategies beat through my logic. My logic used to tell me what not to do. Now, look, I mean, the 1 hour hung out. And it really did just break out in the last 2 hours there. And it bounced off the 200 moving average. You see, we never lost the 200 moving average. I told you I stay long if that happens. And people look at me like I'm absolutely insane. And look, we got above the 1 minute 200, didn't we? We did. And that created the catalyst for the move. Now we're above the 5 minute. Now, I wouldn't jump into any crazy trades. And then look, we pumped right up to the 5 minute 200. And I said, I see us pumping up to the 5 minute 200. Insane. All happened exactly as we talked about. Now the 10 minute, now we got to head to the 15 minute 200 moving average. And I wouldn't be surprised if we make it back up to this liquidity zone now. This becomes the inverted head and shoulder that we work through. But I like this slow grind. Definitely looks like we could have still called that local bottom down there. Things are looking interesting for BTC. It's pretty awesome. So, a little bit of a pump. Nothing to write home about, all right? It was a $150 pump. $250 to $400. Nothing crazy. I don't want to get people like too insane here. But, you know, we got a little bit of a pump here. It was cooler than nothing. It was better than nothing. I'll take it. I'll take it. To the upside over here. So, nice move. Well, nothing too crazy, right? And again, everything that I went over still stands. I could talk about Bitcoin until I was basically blue in the face. And I ain't going to do it. I ain't going to do it over here. So you want to start looking at DeFi because I believe DeFi is going to start moving over time. That's just what we're going to start seeing. You go to the 1 hour too. Look, we got meme core, which actually got sent again. Someone called it in the trading group today, and it actually did go up a little more. World Liberty got the bounce, 20% bounce too. Hyperliquid 46. I tell you, I'm strong on Hyperliquid. That looks like it's going to boom. If I'm going to put anything into anything, I like Hyperliquid. I like virtual too down here. I got a nice position in virtual. I got a big position in Say. I got a big position in Render still. A big position in Solana. I got some Stellar Lumens. I got some Atom. I like Aave. That thing's going to move before everything else. I have a feeling you'll see it bump up. I got a big position in Sui. I'm heavily loaded. I got some smaller positions in Immutable X. I got some Aptos. I got a lot of Ethereum, you know. Keep looking at this Volta. When this thing kind of calms down, I really want to take a look at a swing trade on that thing. I like Avalanche right now. I don't own any, but I like it. I got a big bag of cash, but sad that it's struggling at 7/8. And I got a big bag of Chainlink too. Like I like pancake swap, man. I like it all, man. I got some Ondo, I got some ENA, I got some Pyth. You name it. I got a piece of it. So boom. Little pump for Bitcoin. All coins aren't crazy. Let's just jump back into the chat here and see what's happening with the fan funding. And thank you to everyone out here, really, seriously. $105 in chat revenue. That's crazy. That's more than almost every day this week, and it was it's a Saturday night. Like, you people are amazing. Underground Crypto, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day, while failure is a few errors in judgment repeated every day. Isn't that crazy? So figure out a couple days that would have made success. Do that for 3 days. And then literally run that 3-day process for hundreds of days. Like, just run that. Look back after 300 days, run it again. Look back after 1,000 days, run it again. After 2,000 days, you're going to be in an amazing position. I'm telling you, you're going to be in the top 1% of the world at whatever you do. There's no way you're not. That discipline will accelerate you to another level. Shout out to High Life AK. I took your advice and left the office job. Began to chase my own dreams. God bless you, man. And you're not chasing dreams when you do that. You're making them happen. Just supporting my favorite channel, Cryptomaniac. Thank you so much. Shout out to Master Friend for the $69.99. Tone Quinn, would you please explain quad witching coming up? No idea. God bless you. I'll look at Rock and then it will tell me. Can you take a look at Akash? I appreciate all you do, Lifer. Thank you. Real glad you showed Master Friend some charity by looking at WLFI without the super chat requirement. God bless you, man. Thanks for all you do. Can you look at PAX G? We did. And brass also kills bacteria. That's why I use for donuts. The more you know. Andrew Yurkovic, always coming through, man. Thank you so much for being an awesome part of the show and for giving so much. You don't have to give what you do, man. I really like. You're gonna have a great life the way you're giving like that, because givers gain. So, time for me to go back in on Arrow. I like it. I like it. So you didn't give up. You were just swinging. I get it. I like that. I wasn't sure. It makes me feel good and cozy to know you're back in there with me. 2FA Authenticator app, not text. Yeah, 100%. Definitely do the app, not the text. Yep. And everyone, with that, I'm going to jump on out of here. 9:16. I could be out here all night just going over the charts, but it looks like we're kind of lackluster here, right? Up and down price action. Would it be too crazy? Expect, if we stay above the 1 hour, expect continuation pump, though, right? Let's get this going. And if we lose the 1 hour, 200 MA, this is just a liquidity grab back to the downside. But at least, hey, we had an ascending triangle. It shows up for now. We'll go from there. I like Somia Network a lot. I really like it. I think it's got some big potential. I definitely think it's something worth looking at. Everybody, I love you. Thank you so much for jumping on in. My shoulder is acting up again too tonight, so it's kind of nice to kind of give it a break. It's been ripping, and I was out there with Greg and some people too. A lot of crypto people today playing golf out there up in St. Pete. So I had a good time too. Thank you for inviting me. That was very nice. I don't get out enough, and I had a good time today. So I got out there, everybody. I touched grass. I was playing golf, sweating in that heat, but hey, we did it. We played our 18. We had fun. We didn't win the little tournament rally thing, but we had fun, and it was a blast. So God bless everybody out in the stream. Thank you for being here. I'll catch you tomorrow morning for another beautiful, awesome update. Thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you so much for the support. The Saturday night streams, they're true dedication. They're the one night I'd like to take off every week, but I don't. I make it happen. So God bless you all. You guys make it like really fun to show up. I never say I want to take it, but you know what I mean? It's the one night where there might be something going on in real life, and everyone's like, come over here. And I'm like, I got to go do my show, though. And I never regret it. I'm always happy. I'm always super grateful that I have a channel. And I want to show God that I'm grateful for my channel. So I work 7 days a week for it, because it's all or nothing in this life. And when you go all in, the universe knows that. God knows that. Everything just seems to know when you want it that bad, when you desire it more than anyone else, when you push yourself to the limit. So if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it all the way. 7 days a week, baby. That's it. The secret to success is getting started. It starts to do it one day, and the next thing you know, day after day, baby. I'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.